Hey, what is going on, guys? So we're gonna learn how you can find anybody's email address. Now, the first thing we started off with was getting your ideal customer profile and, figuring out who exactly you want to go after. Then it was finding the company that fit your ideal customer profile. Then the next step was to find the stakeholders at the company you want to reach out to. And now we're going to go into how do you find that person's email. Now, before we dive into that, I want to re-emphasize why you want to email them first versus cold calling them or showing up in front of their doorstep. So the first thing is you want to be mindful of the prospect's preferred medium of communication. Every business and industry is a little bit different, but for the most part, when you are doing B2B business to business, then email is one of the most socially acceptable ways to get in touch with someone, especially if they don't know who you are. The other thing is people check their email regularly throughout the entire day. So there's a high likelihood that, when you send an email, someone is going to actually see it and then potentially respond. The other part is email is very non-intrusive to a person's workday. And this means that, you're not taking time out of their day. You're not interrupting them. You're sending an email to them in their inbox. And when they have the time to reply to you, they totally will. And so that's why you want to be respectful of someone else's time and they will be respectful towards your time. And finally, email is one of the most efficient and scalable ways to communicate with anybody. The reason is because it's virtually free to send an email. And second of all, if you want to send hundreds and hundreds of emails per day, you totally could do that. So not only do you get the speed of sending a lot of emails, but you could send it to a lot of different people. And so this is the reason why email is one of the most best ways to start business relationships. Everybody checks it. You're respecting someone's time and it's most efficient for your time as well. So now that you understand why it makes sense to email someone versus, cold calling them and spending time doing that, let's go ahead and dive into all the different strategies you can use to find someone's email address. Alright guys, so now we're going to dive into Clearbit, and Clearbit is one of my favorite softwares to use to find anybody's email. By far, it's one of the most easiest and simplest and free ones to use. Let's go ahead and go into the web browsers and I'll show you exactly how Clearbit works. Okay, so we are on the Clearbit website. What you want to do first is sign up for Clearbit and download their Google Chrome extension if you are using Google Chrome. And what it's going to do is it's going to connect with your Gmail account. So here I'm in my work Gmail, and what's really interesting about Clearbit is that once you get it, it's going to be a little tab on the top right where it lets you know that it is installed. And so when you compose an email, there's going to be this little Clearbit logo on the bottom, and when you click it, this page will pop up. So let's say you have a bunch of people you want to email at Snapchat, right? And so what it does, it just auto-populates all the companies that are relevant to that keyword search. I'm going to go ahead and click on Snapchat. And what's going to happen is it's going to give me all the people in their database who they have their email for. So if you are wanting to contact the CEO of Snapchat, all you would do is, if he's not already here, you type in his name, it'll pop up, you click on it, and when it pulls the data, what's going to happen is it pulls his information. So as you can see here, email evan@snapchat.com. It also has the website as well as his Twitter and LinkedIn. So you can press the email button, then it's going to auto-populate over here. So the reason why Clearbit is one of my favorites is because it's so easy to use. Really, you just put in someone's name or put in their company, put in the person's name, and then it's automatically going to populate for their email address and you can email them right there. Now, I will say, depending on the business you are trying to reach out to, it doesn't always have it in its database, but I would recommend Clearbit as your first option to use if you're using Gmail to find people's emails and send things out. So that's everything on Clearbit. Let's go ahead and dive into some other strategies on how you could find other people's email addresses. Yo, what's up guys? So in this lesson, we're going to show you how to use the tool emailgenerator.io and Mailtester. And these are going to be tools for you to find people's emails and then validate them using a simple tool. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is. But before we get into it, I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about how to use these tools. So the common email syntaxes that exist in the business world for the most part includes these syntaxes. So usually it's like first initial, last name at the company.com, first name at the company.com. A lot of times it's just a combination of the first and last name at whatever domain that company is at. And so emailgenerator.io allows you to put in the person's first name and their last name and then their company domain name, and it will auto-populate all the possible common company syntaxes or email syntaxes available. And so you're going to have a big list of all possible emails that belong to a person. And so it's a really great tool because once you have all these potential emails that you can kind of guess someone's email with, you can use Mailtester so you can validate your guesses. And so mailtester.com, what it essentially is when you're unsure, when you use a tool and you get an email or you're making a guess on what someone's email is, you can use Mailtester to validate if it's a legit email, because if it's not, the email is not going to send, and this is a really quick way to check. So it's a great tool when you combine it with other email gathering tools, because when you gather these emails with all the different tools that I'm going to show you, Mailtester is a really easy way for you to make sure that they actually work. And Mailtester is great when you have a ton of different emails and you want to guess what the correct email is. So let's go ahead and go into my browser so you can see exactly what these tools are all about. Okay, alright guys, so we are on Email Generator right now. And basically what you want to do is you want to type in someone's name. So I'm going to use myself as an example. So my name is Patrick, my last name is Dang, and my company domain name is dangworldwide.com. And so you accept the terms and conditions and you generate it. And so what's going to happen is it's going to auto-populate all these different domain names that are possible for my email address. And all you want to do is you want to copy and paste these emails into your Mailtester to make sure that you're guessing the right one. So let's say you want to email me at my business email. So let's say you take a guess and you say Patrick Dang at Dang Worldwide. That might be it. First name, last name at dangworldwide.com. So you go into Mailtester. It's a very simple website. You type in the email that you want to check. So let's say it's Patrick Dang at dangworldwide.com. Enter it. And so when you check this address, if it's red here on the bottom, this means that it's not a valid name for this domain. But you can see for the green part, the domain is a valid domain, so the name is incorrect. So that means your guess was wrong. So you go back to the email generator and you say, okay, if Patrick Dang at Dang Worldwide didn't work, what's the other one that might work? And so you might say, okay, let's try the first one, Patrick at Dang Worldwide. Right, so this one's Patrick Dang. It has my last name in there. So you type this in, Patrick at dangworldwide.com, and boom, green. So the domain works, and as you can see here, the email address is valid. So if you wanted to email me at patrick@dangworldwide.com, you can ensure that after using Mailtester that this is in fact a valid email address. So again, Mailtester can be used with any combination of other email gathering tools. It's just a really quick way for you to make sure that the person that you're emailing or the email address that you have is actually valid, so you don't waste your time sending emails to emails that just don't work. So that's it for, Email Generator and Mailtester. Let's go ahead and move on to the next tool. Alright guys, so next up we're going to have Hunter.io. It's another simple one, and what it does is it basically scrapes the web for email addresses, and the more times an email address is on the web, then the more probability that that email is actually legitimate. So let's go ahead and go into my Google Chrome browser so I can show you exactly how you can use it. Alright guys, so we are on the Hunter.io website, and this is a free tool that you can use. They give you 100 different contacts per month, so you can use that in combination with other tools. But if you just want to use this one, they do have a pricing model if you want to get more contacts using Hunter.io, but for the most part it is free, so you can definitely check it out. So basically how it works is when you're on the website, all you want to do is pump in the domain of a company you want to get into. So let's say you want to talk to somebody at the company of Stripe. And so you type in Stripe, and basically what's going to happen is it's going to give you a long list of all the emails that they have in their database that they're pulling from the web, that you could that are legitimate. And the interesting part is if you type this in and you find someone, like let's say for example, you're going for someone specific like James Padolsey, right? Once you type that in, this person's email is going to pop up and you could save it as a lead, and it's a 92% confidence, and that just means that it's pulling this email from all over the web and throughout different time periods, so there's a high probability that this is a legit email. And if you want to double verify this, you can use Mail Tester, the little app that we looked at before, to verify if the name and the domain is correct. So that's how you use hunter.io from their website. However, with their Chrome extension, what you can do is use it when you are on another website. So let's say you're on stripe.com, and on the top right, basically there's this yellow button. After you install hunter.io, what you do is you press it, and basically you can access all the tools just like you can on the website right from your Chrome extension browser, and it's going to give you all the different emails, and you could type specific people in to see if they have that email address. So that's everything you need to know on how to use hunter.io. It's a pretty good one. Go ahead and check it out, but there's more tools to come. Alright, so the next one that we're gonna check out is Datanyze. And Datanyze is another Chrome extension that you could add on to Google Chrome that's gonna give you a ton of information on the companies that you're gonna go after, as well as their email addresses. So again, there's a basic version of Datanyze where you're gonna get free contacts every month, but if you want to get more contacts, there is a paid version, so you want to check that out. And all these tools essentially do the same thing. You just want to keep in mind which one you feel has the best data for you, and then go ahead and just go with that one. So let's go ahead and dive in on what Datanyze works so you get an idea if this is for you. Right. So basically how it works is you go onto any website, and I'm just on lob.com, which is the company I used to work at. And let's say you want to email the employees at lob.com. So after you install the Google Chrome extension, a little button on the top right is going to appear, and what you do is you click on that. On the first tab, the home tab, it's going to give you basic information on its revenue, employees, funding, and all these kinds of things. What you want to spend your time on is the third tab, which is people. So under people, it's basically going to give you all the contacts they have in their database that pertain to this company. And when you press this little green email button, what happens is it's going to populate their email for you to grab and add to your hit list. And so this is just another way for you to, get emails and add them onto your list. It's very simple. It's a Chrome extension similar to hunter.io, but it's just another alternative I wanted you guys to be familiar with. What's up, party people? So the next one on our checklist is gonna be Facebook. Facebook is really good for businesses that are local businesses that oftentimes have a brick and mortar shop, but it's also good for larger companies depending on what you're going for. But if you're going for small, medium business companies, it's a gold mine for mining email addresses. So let's go ahead and give you an example of how I would go about it if you're looking for an email on Facebook. Alright guys, so I am on Boba7's Facebook page, and what Boba7 is, it's a speakeasy boba bar where they sell milk tea drinks that are apparently alcoholic. So basically all you want to do is when you find a company's Facebook page, you want to go to their about page, and in the about page what's going to happen is you scroll down and boom, there's going to be an email address in the additional contact information. So all you want to do is you want to copy that address and add it to your list. Now for a place like Boba7, which is a restaurant slash boba bar that has a physical location in Los Angeles, not a lot of times you will find the owner's personal email on the actual Facebook page, and that's okay because the owner of the restaurant usually checks the email that they put onto their business page. So if you're emailing boba7@gmail.com, it's probably going to hit someone who's at the high level when it comes to restaurants or spas or like doctors or anything that's small, medium business that doesn't have too many employees. So that's just another way for you to collect emails for free using Facebook. All right, another tool that we're going to dive into is data.com, which is owned by Salesforce. And what makes data.com interesting is that, there's an option where you can pay and buy credits so you can unlock contacts and different email addresses. But they also have a model where if you give them a contact, you basically will get credit to get another contact back. So if you have a list of a ton of people, their names and their email addresses and their companies, you could basically upload that as an Excel file onto data.com and get a bunch of credits so you can use them to get more emails. So let's go ahead and dive into data.com to see how you are going to use it. Okay, so I am on the data.com website, and basically all you're doing is you're putting the contact name or company into the search bar. And so I'm going to type in Evan, who's the CEO of Snapchat, and I'm going to write Snapchat, and boom, enter that in. What's going to pop up is Evan Spiegel, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Snap Inc., and you click on that. And so basically this business card thing is going to pop up, and if you press this button, get this contact's phone and email address, it's going to unlock this contact. And so I unlocked it, and it's going to give me his email address as well as his phone number and the address of where Snap Inc. is located. And so you could go ahead and add that to your hit list. Again, when you are adding contacts into data.com, you are going to get more credits so that you can unlock more contacts. And if you update any type of contacts with their business card info, or if they left the company, or if their email is incorrect and you fix it, then you're going to get more credits as well. So I recommend you, if you do have a big list of contacts, go ahead and just upload it to data.com and see if you can get some points so that you could use it to unlock more contacts for yourself. That's everything on data.com. Let's move on. Okay, the next one we're going to dive into is Norbert. And the website is voila, norbert.com. And basically, it's really simple. You just put in the person's name and the company domain name, and it's going to give you their email address. So let's dive into it. It works just the same as any other of these email gathering sites, but I just want to give you an idea of all the different ones that you can use, and you can pick the one that you like the most. All right, so we are on the Norbert site. Essentially, all you're doing is you're typing in the person's name over here and then their domain.com. So let's say you want to talk to an executive at Oracle like Safra Katz, and then at oracle.com, and you enter that in. What's going to happen is this is going to pop up, Safra Katz at oracle.com, and they say that they're 97% certain that this is accurate. And so basically, Norbert is going to give you 50 free contacts per month. And if you want to buy more, you could go ahead and upgrade. But this is a really quick way to just build out your list of contacts very quickly. And the great thing is it tells you the likelihood of how verified it is. So for this one, it says 97%, Mark Kerr, 97%, Evan Spiegel, 97%. So Norbert is definitely another option to check out. All right, guys, so this is going to be the final email collecting tool that we're going to take a look at, and it's called Lead IQ. It's definitely one of the more powerful ones, and it does save a lot of time. Back when I used to work at Lob, this is the one I use, and it was my personal choice because it was really quick. And I will say it does cost money to, purchase a lot of different leads, but if you want to try it out, they do give you free leads to start out with. So let me show you exactly how this is going to work, and this is going to be another Chrome extension. Let's say you are on your browser and you're going to capture some emails today. Once you install the Lead IQ Chrome extension, a button's going to appear on the top right, and all you do is you press it, and basically it's going to open LinkedIn right away, and on the side it's going to have this little bar where it's going to give you people's contacts. So how it works is, let's say you're going for companies at Lyft. You want to find people who work at Lyft that you could potentially talk to. So what you do is you press see all leads, and on the left side it's going to populate everybody on this list right here. So the first few people on the first page, it knows exactly who these people are, and it's gonna populate it on the left side. So if you want to capture these people's contact information, all you would do is press the plus button. I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him, this person, and basically it's going to automatically add these people onto your list. And when you want to view, all the people that you saved, you could also, view their email right over here. You press email, and then their email is going to pop up on the browser. But if you want to view it as a list, you would press the button view, open up the iQuue list, or you could open it up as a Google Sheet. And what's going to happen is it's going to give you their work email, potentially their personal email, first name, last name, title, and company phone number, location, and basically all these information. It's gonna auto populate it for you. So if you're someone that uses LinkedIn really heavily, especially if you are someone that opts for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, LeadIQ is one of the fastest way to just collect the emails of the people you're going after, so that you don't have to copy and paste it onto another Google Sheet. You could do it all from here. But again, it depends on what tools you are using. To kind of end this on the note of, it's not necessarily about the tools that you use. Some are more powerful than the others. It's all about just putting in the work. Whatever tools fit for what you are trying to do, go ahead and just use that tool. There's no, this one's better than another. It just depends on what is the best fit for you. And I would just go ahead and not even focus too much on the technology side of it, but just find a way to get people's emails. Use one of the techniques that I showed you, throughout this whole section, and just, get their emails and email them. The most important part is that you do it and you send the emails. So that's it for LeadIQ, and that's all we're gonna cover when it comes to finding a person's email address. And next, we're gonna dive into how to write like a copywriter, how to craft, really great emails, even when you don't have any writing experience. So if that sounds good, I will see you guys in the next section.